Would you fight side by side with a Proud Boy if Russians were invading the United States?
Hey, Tom. Just getting to the point about Aaron's point, I'm an African-American here in Orange County, which is known for its racist views anyway. I would absolutely fight with the Proud Boys, and I would hearken back to make a point. In the Civil War, the Buffalo Soldiers were provided weapons from generals that had been slaveholders. And the Crips and Bloods here in Los Angeles band together, what they call the OGs, to stop drugs from coming in their neighborhoods when those older gangsters woke up. They banded together.
Right. So the enemy of my enemy can be my friend, at least in your mind.
Spot on. And like I said, the situation with Aaron, those are his feelings, and maybe he just has to sit that out. But there are many cultures or groups that get together and have served together. I served NATO for over 12 years in the same locations that we're looking at right now being bombed, you know, and I got the itch to want to go over and help.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm too old to do it these days. But you said it, and I'm not going to belabor the point, the enemy of my enemy. And bottom line, I think Aaron, you know, everybody has to pick and choose, you know, their fight. And if that's not Red Dawn for him, the movie, then he just sits it out. But there's many others that will join and will take that rifle from their neighbor.
Yeah. It's an interesting issue, and it's an interesting...
It caught me by surprise to hear that question. But like I said, the Civil War, they passed out rifles to the Buffalo Soldiers, but you know it was highly politically charged before they did it.
Yep. Yeah.
And like I said, the Crips and Bloods, I don't know what kind of meetings they had, but they came together and stopped drugs from coming into their neighborhoods, you know, the older gangsters.
Yeah, yeah, I totally get it. Ronnie, thank you. Thanks for weighing in. I appreciate the call. Eric in Seattle. Hey, Eric, you are apparently echoing a conversation that Nate and Joyce and Sean and I were having here after I told Congressman Khanna that if America was under attack from the Russians or the Mexicans, that I would join with the Proud Boys to fight against them. You want to take issue with that?
I do, Tom, and thank you for taking my call. I think, you know, your platform has a very large influence. I know because I listen to you a lot, and I am moved by many of the topics that you discuss and the history that you mentioned. But this idea is very concerning because there are many people in this country who have experienced violence through racism, and to hold up, regardless of name, Proud Boys, Azov Battalion, there, you know, it does not dilute the fact of racism and the racist ideology that they espouse to, and you know, even though they may be in percentages a smaller number in any given population, it is irrelevant because of the sway and the power that they have through violence. I mean, the Nazis in Germany during World War II were a minority in the population. Even the frame of thought was considered to be not in the mainstream, but through violence and coercion and manipulation and false flags, they were able to take over the country. I personally, and I'm sure I'm in a very good company with many others, would not stand shoulder to shoulder with people who have been racist against anyone just for the fact of defending our country. I think we would all defend our country, but if they were to be allowed to participate in that manner and accept it, they could easily grow more in power in the government after the supposed invasion of our country.
So the Proud Boys are just, you're starting to repeat yourself, Eric. So the Proud Boys are basically the modern day incarnation of the Klan. Do you think in 1944 or 1941 that Franklin Roosevelt should have had some sort of a survey so that Klan members could not become part of the military to fight the Germans?
I think that racism should have been addressed through political power.
You're not answering my question, Eric. Should we exclude racists from the military during time of war if they're not willing to fight with a racist? Are you willing to let your city be destroyed because you're not willing to fight with somebody who you disagree with or who hates you, who openly hates you, but is on your side in this battle?
Well, you know, as a veteran myself, and in combat experience, you know, there are people who would definitely, if they were racist, would have no problems causing harm to their fellow soldiers. So, yes, I do believe that they should be screened out of the military and the police and any public service, because it is a cancer on any society.
Oh, I'm with you on during any normal time, Eric. I'm talking about in the middle of a war. I'm talking about when the survival of your family is at stake. If the Russians are coming into Seattle, Washington, and they have burned down half the city, and they're coming for your neighborhood, and your right-wing neighbor next door with his Trump flag out front and his Gadsden flag flying from his roof comes over to your house and says, I got 2 guns. You can have one. I'll have one. We're going to stop these suckers. Would you say no thanks?
I don't think that would happen. I don't think that would happen.
That has happened throughout history, Eric. It's why the old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, is such a cliche.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree, because I think, if anything, people who are, you know, racist, they do not look at friendship at a time of
I'm not talking about friendship.
Need.
I'm talking about banding together for defense.
No, if they would not offer me a weapon. If anything, they would be an advantage for them to not only commit violence in the name of war.
Then they'd be committing suicide, because the 2 of you together might be able to stop something that one of you alone can't.
Yeah, you know, again, you know, there are people in combat who, you know, Vietnam. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Vietnam vets who experienced this kind of or saw or heard about these types of events where people were just killed because of racism, or were allowed to die because of racism.
I'm sure.
So
I'm sure.
I don't think so.
So that's your line in the sand. Okay. Well, you know, I'm not the font of all wisdom here, and I may be wrong. I'd be interested to see what other people have to say. Eric, thank you for the call. Thanks for a thoughtful disagreement. I appreciate it.